Main arguments in support of vegetarianism and fruitarianism based raw food diets is that meat takes longer to digest, whilst carbohydrates, particularly the sugar in fruit, are digested much faster. For this reason, it's claimed that such foods are better for digestion and better for energy, as the nutrients contained are much more immediately accessible. However, in the context of metabolic typing, this argument does not hold up. Individuals that are equipped with a metabolism that is more suited to fats and proteins will also tend to have a much stronger and more efficient digestive system. In fact, their digestive systems are more suited to meat and other heavier foods that they will be consuming. Sluggish digestion is unlikely to be a problem in such individuals, unless of course a digestive system happens to be in a poor state of health relative to its natural state. If carbohydrates or sugar really were the right fuel for everyone, then the Eskimos would have died out a long time ago in their tough environment where such foods would have been totally inaccessible. Another flaw in the argument that we do best on carbohydrates is that it is assumed that the cells of the body get their energy from sugar or carbohydrates, which is a distortion of the actual truth, to say the least. In fact, it demonstrates a misunderstanding of how the body actually creates energy at a biochemical cellular level. Every cell of the body actually uses ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, for energy. And ATP is created from a host of biochemical processes using water, oxygen, and metabolized nutrients created from food. So allow me to outline some of the main reasons why carbohydrates are not necessarily your body's main or only source of energy. So, whilst it is true that ATP largely comes from glycogen or glucose, which is a form of sugar, it also can be produced from free fatty acids from fat and amino acids from proteins. We'll also find that glycogen and glucose is created from carbohydrates, but it can also be created from specific types of fats and proteins in the liver. Another argument is that most of the ATP, and therefore our physical energy, is created from an energetic process called the Krebs cycle. About 80% of ATP, in fact, except during exercise when ATP is produced largely from other energy systems. The successful function of the Krebs cycle, and therefore the production of ATP, requires certain enzymes and substrates to be present. Some of these substrates and enzymes are increased by fat and certain types of proteins, and others are increased by carbohydrates and certain other types of proteins. Now, our natural tendencies towards producing certain types of enzymes and substrates will vary depending upon our metabolic type, and for this reason our dietary needs will vary. This is because the ultimate purpose of nutrition is to maintain balance and function within the cells, organs, glands and systems of the body. For this reason, our nutrition must support the weaker side of our metabolic makeup. Since this will vary depending on our varying enzyme and substrate levels, the nutrients required for energy will also vary according to our makeup. A final point, and that is that some organs and glands need more fats and proteins in order to function properly, whilst others need more carbohydrates. Our dietary needs will vary according to the state of health and function and physical makeup, i.e. organ size, hormone and enzyme levels of these organs and glands. Now, these facts stated above will quite clearly demonstrate that the assumption that we need carbohydrates or sugar for energy is far from the truth, and that there are numerous factors and nutrients involved in determining the level of energy we have available. More about the concept of metabolic typing by following the following by viewing the following resources. My slideshows on when and why raw food diets do and don't work, my YouTube video on metabolic typing, or my free teleconference on what foods and diets will work best for you. I highly recommend this resource, as during the call I will teach you everything that you need to know in respect of learning your metabolic type, the theory behind it, its importance, and what other factors are important in determining what type of diet will work best for you. Please check out the links on the right to get to these resources. Thank you very much for watching this slideshow.